What if 2025 could be the year that you look back on and say, that's when everything changed? Whether it's health, career, relationships, personal development, this is your sign to take control, glow up, and build the life that you deserve. Let's talk about how you can make that happen. Let's talk about how we can make that happen step by step. Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm on my own glow up journey and I'm excited to take you along for the ride. This is episode 1 of my series where I'll be sharing how I'm transforming my life and how you can too. Whether you're feeling stuck, uninspired, or just ready for change in general, or just looking for some inspiration, I've got you covered here. This is where you need to be engaging. But first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the love on my first video last week. I was actually expecting to get 0 comments or maybe like 1. So it was really nice to see that so many people are ready to take action this year. So many people are ready to level up and live their best lives. And this is the community for it. We can all cheer each other on. I'm always down to have a conversation and just chat in the comments. So yeah, I just want to say I'm super grateful. Let's get into it. Let's start off with health because I feel like that's arguably the most important one. Nothing works if you're running on empty. People disregard health a lot because they feel like they have other priorities going on in their life, but it really is the key pillar to how you can maximize your productivity in general. We're going to start with sleep. How I actually get 7 to 9 hours sleep is I create a bedtime routine that actually works for me. I start winding down from about 8 o'clock in the evening and I have my whole shower routine, washing my face, making myself a chamomile tea, taking some magnesium, reading before bed. I have a proper routine. We're going to go into that in another video, but that's just a little small breakdown, an example of how you can implement that yourself. Sleep boosts memory, it supports weight management, you get sick less often if you're getting a good amount of sleep, it reduces stress, it improves your mood. It's something that we really need to be prioritizing. Second is fitness. I would implore you to find a workout that you enjoy. It doesn't need to be super complicated. You don't need to be spending £200+ a month on Pilates. It can literally just be 20 minutes of walking, 30 minutes of walking, whatever you can do at first to get it into your routine, and try and find something that you enjoy. I know that there's a lot of like Pilates princess trends going around, but you don't need to do that if it doesn't suit you and your lifestyle. Find something that works for you and stick to it, because I do like Pilates, I'm not gonna lie myself, but I don't love it enough to be doing it 4 or 5 times a week. I love weight training in the gym, that's my staple, that's what works, and then I implement things like Pilates and bars. So find what works for you. My biggest tip for that is schedule it in like a meeting that you cannot miss. Let's say you want to work out 3 days a week. What days are you actually going to be working out? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What workout are you going to be doing? Is it a creator from YouTube? Is it an app? Is it someone from Instagram? Save that workout. The more prepared you are, the more likely you are to follow through and do it. If it's walking, when are you going to walk? You're gonna, maybe instead of getting the bus to work, you're gonna walk the 30 minutes instead. You're gonna get off 1 stop earlier on the tube so you can fit in walking into your routine. When are you going to do it? Third is nutrition. Now this is a very touchy subject sometimes, so I really want to be light-handed with this one, but this is purely depending on what your goals are. Do you simply just want to get more fruit and vegetables into your diet? Are you trying to lose some body fat? Are you trying to gain some body fat? Personally, for me, I found that a high protein diet, moderate fat, lower carb makes me feel my best. So you really have to just find out what works for you, even if that's keeping a food diary, writing down all your meals for the day and just checking in. How do I feel when I had this for breakfast? Did I feel like high energy, or did I get hungry after a few hours? Did I get peckish? Be really observant of what you're eating, because I feel like sometimes we just eat and we don't take knowledge of the fact that we have more cravings after eating a certain meal, or you find it hard to get to sleep after eating a certain meal or eating too close to bed. So just monitor your nutrition. And on top of that, I just want to say you do not need to starve yourself or really be restrictive with what you're eating in order to glow up. I feel like we see a lot of people's befores and afters in the gym and we want to get there as quickly as possible, and you go to the extreme, but you will not, speaking from experience, you will not maintain it doing it that way. You'll maybe lose weight for a few months, you're going to go back to the way you were eating before, and then you're just going to revert back. And we're not doing that. We're building sustainable habits. I find it's always good to follow like an 80-20 diet. So that means 80% sort of healthier whole food choices, and 20% of, you know, your sweets and your chocolates and your pizza, of those sort of indulgent cravings that you'll inevitably have. Your body is your foundation, so treat it with care. Next let's talk about the mindset glow up, because that is where the magic really happens. I'm going to split this again into 3 sections. Number 1, daily habits. Are there any daily habits that you feel like will genuinely improve your life? For example, journaling, meditation, visualization, waking up early, whatever it is. I have a 5-minute morning routine that really sets me up for the day. I find that just getting out of bed, slinging my duvet off, going and quickly brushing my teeth and getting ready for the gym, it just puts me like in high stress to start off the day, and it's just not the way to go. And this was after actually reading the book The Miracle Morning. I spent 2 minutes meditating, literally just in silence, and then I spent about 5 minutes of my day journaling and planning out my day. And it's just top 3 things that I want to accomplish today, and just 3 things that I'm grateful for. So there are different ways around this. You don't have to have this long journal that you're doing for 20 minutes in the morning. There's even this app called 5-Minute Journal that I used to use, so that's something if you just want to get into journaling. Whatever suits you, whatever it is that you want to do. My sister personally, she wakes up and she stretches as well. I also find that by journaling, I'm able to reflect on my week, and it helps me identify areas that I need to improve. So if I'm consistently not ticking something off my list, then I'm able to tell, like looking back on the week, oh, I'm sort of slacking in this department. I haven't been consistent in this area of my life. That's something that I need to be working on. That's also a good thing to have in your routine. But I find that having a really good morning routine, even if it's 5 minutes, and having a good evening routine is key. Trust me. I love Microsoft To Do. That's an app that I use where I write down all of the things that I want to do for the day if it's longer than a list of 3, and I can just tick them off as I go. And it can be small things like drinking 2 liters of water, going to the gym, doing my 10k steps. It's just really easy. Number 2 is learning something new, whether it's a skill, a course, reading books, just investing in yourself. I'm currently learning more about content editing, and the great thing about learning a new skill or course is that there is so much free information online. You do not need to go out and buy a course if you don't want to. You don't need to go out and buy a book. There is so much free information here on YouTube, on TikTok. I'm currently learning from different video editor people on TikTok how to edit my videos to make it even more crisp, make it even more engaging. I haven't needed to invest in anything. There's so much free information online, so take advantage. If you do want to invest in a course, there are apps like LinkedIn do courses, Skillshare. If you're in the UK, gov.uk have free and paid ones on there, so really just have a look. My 3rd personal development tip is very generic, but it's discipline over motivation. I briefly touched on this in my last video, but motivation fades. Like I said before, it's exciting in the beginning when you're starting something new, but after a while, when you're not seeing a return in your investment fast enough, you just tend to quit. Like, the motivation is gone. So for that, I know that I need to create systems that make it easier for me to show up for myself, even on days where I don't feel like it. And in the past, things that have helped me are setting up these visual cues around my space. For example, I'll keep a book on my pillow to remind me that I need to read at night, to do 30 minutes of reading. When I wasn't being consistent with my journaling, I put my journal on my bed with my pen, so there was no excuse. As soon as I get into bed, I should be able to do 5 minutes of journaling. So it was much easier for me not to forget. Another discipline hack is setting out your clothes for the gym the night before. This is so key, especially if you're waking up early for the gym. I would keep it like on the edge of my bed, so I'd wake up and I'd see my gym clothes. So I'd feel a little bit bad for just like hitting my snooze button and going back to bed when my gym clothes are right there. Another way to stay disciplined, especially if you don't have people that are on the same wavelength as you, are reading books. Listen to motivating podcasts. Listen to motivating people on YouTube. There are so many creators that I love on here. When I'm sort of feeling like that dip in motivation, I will listen to like those creators, or a specific video maybe about success and staying disciplined. I'd listen to that. It's just like a little pep talk that I need to keep me going. Section 3 is career, and this is a big one because this is where you're spending the majority of your life pretty much. So therefore it plays a big role in your overall happiness, which is why I ended up quitting my job at the end of last year to pursue my dreams, because I thought I'm spending 9 hours a day here and I'm so burnt out, I'm so uninspired. I do not want to look back in 40 years time and figure out that I spent over half of my life doing something that I didn't want to do. I do not want that that to be my reality. So I have to change it. So step 1, set clear goals. Know what you want to achieve and work backwards. Whether it's a promotion, a career change, starting your own thing, going freelance like me, write down and make a plan. Goals are great, but they need a system behind them. Otherwise, your dreams are just gonna stay dreams. Also, break your goals down into smaller chunks, like researching your niche, building a portfolio, pitching to 10 clients. Take it step by step. And again, there are so many tools online that you can use, again, like Notion or Trello to make your plans. And even AI tools like ChatGPT has helped me so much to put like my thoughts into words. So utilize these things. Ask ChatGPT to write you a business plan on how I can become a full-time photographer in the next 2 years. That's just an example. For me and my goals, I'm going to need to network. I'm going to need to connect with people on LinkedIn. I'm going to need to go to networking events, and I'm a bit awkward in those situations. But again, this year is all about stepping out of my comfort zone. So I'm just gonna have to take the leap and do it. But the thing with that is I'm starting off small. I'm connecting with people on LinkedIn. I'm sending them messages. I'm liking posts, commenting on posts. I'm just easing my way into it. I've even been DMing people that I find inspiring, that are sort of in the same position that I'm in. You have to stop being scared of putting yourself out there. No one else is gonna do it for you. I've also been using apps like Eventbrite to find events in my local area, networking events that I can go to. Also, depending on what you're doing, your personal brand, depending on what your goals are, your online presence is basically your CV, your resume. Whether you're a creator, a professional, or both, make sure your socials reflect your glow up goals. So I'd love to become a content creator, so I'm putting that out there and I'm saying it, and I'm showing up on all the platforms I can possibly show up on. I'm making sure that my profile picture and that bio reflects my goals and what I'm trying to do. And for going freelance, I'm using a portfolio and sharing that with the necessary people. Section 4 is relationships. This is important because relationships can either fuel your glow up or they can hold you back. This is a time to really analyze the people in your life, the friendships, the relationship that you're in. Really be critical whether those friendships, relationships are pushing you forward or if they're holding you back. You need to spend time with people that inspire you or uplift you. If you walk away from a social situation or your friends and you're feeling depleted, you're feeling drained, that's telling you something. It's time to put yourself around people who are going to do the opposite, that are going to build you up, cheer you on, make you feel good. You walk away feeling inspired, ready to take on the world. The past year, I've also just been wanting to make friends with people who just aren't in my social group, because I realized that a lot of my friends are people that I grew up with, which is fine, but that can sort of sometimes put you in a little bit of a box. And because I worked from home, again, it was harder for me to make friends with other people. So I actually downloaded Bumble BFF, and I've met 3 to 4 like amazing girls on there that I can just see being in my life, see them being in my life for the foreseeable future. And for that, again, I had to put myself out there. If you want to make friends, you have to put yourself out there. If you want anything, if you want to grow, you're going to have to put yourself out there in some capacity. But not only Bumble BFF, I know people who have joined book clubs, who use apps like ClassPass. You can just get talking to a girl next to you in a Pilates class, build something from there, or even things like volunteering. Don't forget to nurture these connections as well as the friends that you already have and your family. A quick check-in text or quality time over coffee goes a long way. Down to romantic relationships. I'm only going to touch on this because I'm not a dating coach, but if you're single like me, enjoy this time to focus on yourself. Find out what you enjoy. How can you like pour into yourself at this time? And if you're dating, all I'm going to say is make sure they're adding value to your life. If they're not adding, they're taking away, and it's really important to know that. Protect your energy, protect your time. It's your most valuable asset. Lastly is hobbies and leisure, because we're not in our boring girl era anymore. We're not waking up, going to work, coming home, eating and going to bed. Doing that day in and day out is not the way to be. I'm not trying to say Monday you need to be sewing, Tuesday you need to be dancing, Wednesday you need to be learning to play the guitar. You can have like 1 or 2 hobbies in your routine. It could literally be trying to like knit something while you're watching Netflix. Just have something else that you're doing to just switch up your routine. And I don't know, just use your like the creative part part of your brain. So find your thing, whether it's painting or baking, cooking, or whether it's just trying a new coffee shop on the weekend. Make time for what makes you happy, so those little pleasures. If you're in London, I'm sure you can find this for whatever city that you're in, but there's this app called Hobby, and you can just filter down on so many different types of hobbies. Every hobby under the sun, you can try things. I'm sure everyone has something like that. Now, in terms of leisure, personally this year I want to do a few staycations. I'm in the UK and I realized that I haven't been to Ireland or Scotland or Wales, or I barely travel outside of the city. So I'm making it my mission this year to at least go to 2 of those countries, even if it's just like a weekend trip, even if it's just a day trip. I feel like changing your environment can do wonders for your mindset. Go to like a borough or just an area that maybe you haven't been to before. Just do a little bit of exploring. And lastly, just unplug. If you're someone who has a desk job where you're staring at a screen all day, you come back and you watch more TV and then you're doom scrolling before bed. You don't have to maybe commit to a full day if you don't want to, but even like an afternoon where you don't pick up your phone. I've made it my mission to, when I'm sitting down at dinner with someone, I will not pull out my phone and text anyone back. They can wait the hour and a half that I'm having dinner for me to reply to that text message. Instead, read, go for a walk, or just sit with your thoughts. It's actually refreshing. And there is your 2025 glow up blueprint. We've spoken about health, personal development, career, relationships, and hobbies, and they are all connected. Remember, glowing up isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start small, stay consistent, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. If this video inspired you in any way, or you're able to take anything from this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to see more episodes in this series. And tell me in the comments, what's one glow up goal that you're working towards this year, even if it's just waking up early or being consistent with the gym. I'd love to cheer you on, of course, and we can talk about it together in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.